Good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank the First Lady and the President's Committee for allowing me the opportunity to speak to you today. I'm honored to be here representing the Tribal Youth Ambassadors. I'm a Pomo Indian from Northern California. In some ways, I'm your average 15-year-old. I'm a sophomore in high school, I love music, and I'm currently learning how to drive. In some ways, I'm very different from the other students at my school. I run my own DJ business, and I'm descended from a group of people that barely survived the colonization of California. Being Native American, I'm subject to many stereotypes. I've been called Pocahontas, I've been asked if I lived in a teepee, and during 1 year at school, I had to watch my own school dance show with students running across the stage in headdresses and resurrecting people from the dead. As a Native American, it is my responsibility to correct misinformation such as that. Our history has many stories of sacrifice and survival. We believe that these stories should be honored. I'm often reminded that I am lucky to live during a time where our histories can be shared and our cultures can be celebrated. My fellow ambassadors and I demonstrate not only how our people survive, but how we thrive. Thriving is important, especially when the odds are stacked against you. Looking at the statistics for Native youth, we are unlikely to graduate from high school or college, and we face the highest rates of suicide and depression in the United States. One strategy for change is to bring together Native youth to address their own needs. Our group of Pomo and Miwok Indians first came together in 2010. We, with the help of Miramah, Aboriginal Language and Technology Center, we created 6 language apps. We addressed stereotypes by learning storytelling and theater. We held a play that educated 1,600 students. We learned how to operate GIS and worked with Native professionals to create a map that holds 100 California Indians that everyone should know. Through being a part of the Tribal Youth Ambassadors, I've had the opportunity to meet Indigenous leaders all around the world. I've been fortunate enough to meet Native comedians such as the late Charlie Hill and Teotihuacan Ybarra. I've met Indigenous leaders such as Garrett Couch, Karen Beesman, Darren McKinney, Shoni Schimmel, and my grandpa, Joseph Myers. I've learned from my mother that it takes commitment and dedication to be a leader who reaches the mind of a 15-year-old. Oral history has been passed down in our family for many generations. It is empowering because it frames our people in a positive light. It has taught me about my people's rebellion, resistance, and resilience. It is not always easy sharing these stories and being a voice for our ancestors, but it is a part of who I am as a Native person, as a Californian, and as a US citizen. While working with the Tribal Youth Ambassadors, I've met a Nahashiman storyteller named Jackie Nunez. She told me a story of a girl named Shulayam. When her mother Moila still carried her in her womb, she liked to rub her big belly and look up at the stars. And when she saw her baby's face for the first time, she was amazed at the brown clusters of spots on her face. It looked just like the night sky. You might have called them freckles, but back then they were just spots. As Shulayam grew older, she loved to sing, and when she did, the animals would cuddle around her, the bunnies would gather at her feet, and the deer would nuzzle her elbow, but the dragonfly would swirl around and around her until it touched her shoulder. And in the California tribal tradition, when a dragonfly landed on you, it meant you're pure of heart. One day, a boy named Ashwit decided he was going to play a trick on Shulayam. He didn't like all the attention she got when she sang. When the dragonfly landed on her, he became angry. He decided to show her that she wasn't the only one who could be special. So he gathered an abalone shell and he mixed clay and water and he dotted his face to look like hers. And he looked at his reflection in the creek and he laughed. He grabbed his grandmother's clapper stick and he strutted into the village singing. All the children laughed and Shulayam's heart was broken. She ran to the creek where her grandmother was collecting basket materials and she said, "Oh, grandmother, why do I have these spots on my face?" Her grandmother saw 2 leaves floating in the river nearby. One was spotted and one was plain. She grabbed them and said, "Shulayam, which one do you notice?" "The spotted one," said Shulayam. "Yes, and the caterpillar knows this one too. He eats this leaf in order to transform into a beautiful butterfly. Don't question the creator who gave you your spots. He gave you them for a reason. And to those who love you, it has brought much joy." Shulayam learns to appreciate her spots and later helps Ashwit with his self-esteem. both of them learned to change their perspectives about themselves and each other. Through telling this story to Native youth and non-Native youth, we hope that they can understand that making fun of one's culture is wrong. No one should be defined by another's ignorance. I would like to close with these words from my fellow tribal ambassadors. We are Indian and we are proud. We still sing. We still laugh. We still dream. We still stand and are willing to remember what our grandmothers and grandfathers and fathers and mothers tell us because we are Indian and we are proud. Yahui, thank you.